Well, when the most recent surge of COVID cases overwhelmed central Indiana hospitals last month, it had an alarming ripple effect on emergency services. Ambulances diverted for thousands of hours, which had a big impact on patient care. For more on that and a look at other stories coming up in this weekend's IBJ, pleased to welcome, as always, Editor Lesley Weidenbener. And Lesley, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I want to talk about that investigation, very interesting, but certainly football is kind of taking center stage here in Indianapolis. We did the first half hour of the show on that. You guys are all over it, not only talking football and economy, but also entertainment as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good shows scheduled for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday right on the Circle. Weather's going to be a big player here because weather's going to range from the 20s up to the 40s. And of course, in the evenings, it's going to be chilly. But they've been building a big stage on the north side of the Circle, which is not where we're used to seeing it. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah,
it's been fun to watch it as we're in the office downtown.
That's right. We can see it. And one of the neat things we learned about this week is that before the concerts, there's actually going to be an aerial acrobatics or dance troupe off of Salesforce Tower.
Yeah, that will be something to watch. So lots of coverage on the College Football National Championship. Plus, I mentioned that investigation, really interesting, the rush on hospitals and diverting ambulances. John Russell did doing a big story on that.
Yeah, he looked at a 6-week period in the fall. This was at the end of one of the last surges, the beginning, and then with things cooling down a little bit, and even during the time when things were getting better, emergency rooms were telling or encouraging ambulances to take patients elsewhere. Now, ambulances can still bring a patient to a hospital, even when a hospital goes on what they call diversion status. But there were several days during this period where almost every hospital was discouraging ambulances from bringing them patients.
Wow, interesting story. Certainly solar and wind getting a lot of attention here in Indiana, around the country, but really is interesting to me how much here in Indiana, and I know it's caught the eye of legislators as well.
Yeah, it's some of the projects in some parts of the state, go into effect pretty easily and get zoning approval and get approval from local officials. And then in other places, Boone County, for example, they just rejected a proposal. And the Indiana Chamber and some other organizations are concerned that Indiana's never going to catch up on alternative energy sources if there aren't some statewide regulations that help cite these kinds of solar and wind projects.
Yeah. One other one, real quickly, tax climate. It's been a big selling point for Indiana. I know you're going to have a bet on the tax climate here in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana is in the top 10 according to the Tax Foundation in terms of tax climate. But what's interesting is that Indiana's #1 in property taxes. And if you look at the proposals at the legislature, cutting the personal property tax is the #1 priority. So it's going to be interesting to see if doing that really makes a difference in terms of the business climate.
Very good. Lots of great stuff in this weekend's IBJ. Lesley Weidenbener, as always, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.